Hi, Holly Stokes with the Brain Trainer here with Kassandra Moreno, who does myofascial therapy in Salt Lake City. And I know I've known you for several years now, and just wanted to kind of refresh what inspired you to go through hypnosis training.
Yeah. So I actually started out in massage therapy in about 2016. I was working in a spa and I started to just have questions about it, right? I didn't like the limits that were put on what is a massage therapist, what is an esthetician, what is a hairstylist. So I kept exploring further. This is where I found personal training and as I became more skilled as a massage therapist, I started encountering what are called SERs or somato-emotional releases, where clients on the table would have these emotional releases, whether it be like crying or laughter or anger, seemingly like inexplicable, right? And I kind of had this connection in my mind of if you can get this through manipulating tissues, why couldn't you get this through exercise and through movement? So I asked questions to the instructors that I had at the time, and none of them really had the answers for me. So I kept searching for what did. That's where I found yoga, and I became a yoga teacher trainer, or a yoga teacher certified. And then from there, I found what's called Yoga Nidra. So Yoga Nidra translates to yoga sleep. And this was my first introduction to this idea of these limiting beliefs and using altered states of consciousness to help to get through blocks and to make things happen in your life. And that's actually where I met Holly, because I kept just looking for more and more information on these subjects. And she was holding a class at Dave's Health and Nutrition.
Yeah.
And from there, I went on my own. I did my own series of hypnosis. And that has been some of the most transformative work that I've personally received. And once 2020 hit and I couldn't do what I was normally doing, and I was a little stir crazy, that's when you had offered the hypnosis training, and that's when I started. So.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, quite a story.
It is. That's really exciting. I knew that you had come from massage therapy background.
Yeah.
And I knew that you collected kind of several modalities along the way.
Yeah.
Like yoga and I didn't know about the Yoga Nidra though. That's very similar to some of what we do with hypnosis.
It is.
Well, kind of the format, I would say, is similar.
Yeah.
And then through the training, the hypnosis training, it sounds like you've kind of put these tools all together, like worked them into what you do now.
Yeah, and it actually took me a while too, because I didn't fully recognize how I was already using these in my practice until, again, after 2020, the yoga studio I was working at closed, and the massage clinic I was working at closed. So I was searching again, and that's where I found a myofascial therapy clinic. And that's when I started learning about 3 years ago. And as I was learning about the myofascial system, this system of connective tissue, it's full body, head to toe, skin to cellular level. I started putting pieces together, and I started equating that fascial system to like the physical manifestation of the subconscious mind.
Oh, wow.
So if you think about it, if you've ever had like a jump scare, you feel like you jump out of your skin. Your body does move a little bit usually, but it feels like it moves so much bigger, so much more, kind of like a cartoon,
right,
where they jump right out of their skin.
Yeah.
That is your fascial system responding to that stimuli.
Wow.
So we very literally make shapes in our bodies. We very literally clench our jaws and clench our fists, or make shapes to make us smaller or bigger depending on how we're feeling.
Yeah.
So the subconscious mind very much physically shows. And so as I started learning more about myofascial release, I started to kind of clue in on this, and I can see and understand so much about a person with, just observation.
Wow.
Yeah.
But observation, so that would be how they move or like their posture, or tell me more about that.
All of the above. So I'll generally start observing, as soon as the client walks in, how they introduce themselves, how they walk. And then I'll usually kind of have them stand, and I'll look for imbalances in their system. And what's so fascinating to me is the moment that you bring their awareness to that thing, they like their whole energy changes almost. So many people have some sort of twist and upslip or something in their pelvis that translates down into their legs and up into their ribs. And as soon as you point it out, they can't not notice it. But it's so automatic. It's that
Right.
subconscious patterning of like, this is how I need to be and this is what I have to deal with. But once you bring their awareness to it, they're like, oh, that's weird. I don't know how to not do that. And that's what I help people with.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's so fascinating. And there is a lot of, I don't know, even research and recognition that how we hold our posture, how we live in our body really influences like mood and our emotional system.
Yeah.
And how different postures can create that, even just the TED Talk of Amy Cuddy talking about confidence. Just hold the confidence posture and you'll feel confident. So that's very fascinating.
Yeah. Oh, it's been so cool.
So it sounds like you came to hypnosis through looking and searching other modalities, and then kind of landed into the realm of recognizing there's these limiting beliefs through like yoga nidra, and I think that's the point where we connected.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Great. And what would you say to prospective students, people who are looking at getting trained in the field of hypnotherapy, hypnosis? What would you tell people that are looking at this modality?
Yeah, I think that there's so many possibilities. It's a part of everything everyone does every day. We're sending subconscious signals all the time. And so having that understanding of that, learning how to speak that language, how to recognize these things. I mean, everything is so connected. So when you know the rules, it's easy to follow them and make them,
Better.
work in your favor.
Yeah. That's so true. Like what you just said, like those subconscious signals. I've even noticed with myself, it can be subtle things like, the milk falls on the floor. I don't drink milk, so it's more like water. Water falls on the floor. And then something like, oh, that's just my life. Hey, wait, something just happened, a little minor accident, and then I'm globalizing it to that's just my life. I have to catch myself on some of those things I hear myself say.
Absolutely. And that's actually another aspect that I use a lot in my work is my consultations are so much longer than they used to be. They used to be, what are we focusing on today? Do you have any injuries? Anything I need to avoid? Okay, I'll be right back. Now I sit there and I get comfortable and I have them get comfortable and I actually hear what they want, because oftentimes what they're asking for isn't actually what they want out of the treatment. They don't really know where they are. And not that they don't know what hurts, but they don't know the depth of it. They don't know the when, they don't know the why, they don't know what they're saying about it. And so the more you ask them questions, the more that they'll slip up and say things just like that. That's just my life. And you're like, well, you did a thing here. What does that mean? Tell me more about that. Yeah.
Really deep diving into it.
And so the work starts, in those conversations.
Yeah. And the pain, and we see this both at an emotional level, but also at a physical body level, that pain is just a symptom that there's something else going on.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And it's the body doing a job, and it's doing a great job at keeping you going, keeping you aware of what you need to focus on. When it comes to pain, oftentimes, it's to help you heal it, to help you bring your awareness there, do something with it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right, to help it. And it, to me, it just really, it's so much interfaces, like mind, body, really interfaces together, so much more than we're aware of.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So like you were saying, like getting, you have that jump out of your skin or scared with, something that happens, an accident or something startles you, that kind of creates that almost imprint in your fascia. Is that what you're saying?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I just love how you've brought hypnosis into this field where you're already working. It sounds like you're even like pushing the edge of that, like.
Oh, yeah.
I can, like you made a slip up earlier where you said yoga teacher trainer, but I wonder if that's on your horizon as well. It's really.
Most likely. Yeah.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
so wonderful. So great to have you with us, and thanks for sharing kind of your background and experience with that. Any other advice for new hypnotists looking to start their own practice?
Yeah. I would say that honestly, it's easier than it seems like it would be. If it's hard, then I think there's more of like a grounding and inner work that needs to happen. The thing that helped me the most, like become grounded and confident in my practice, is doing my own work, knowing what it feels like, knowing the process, knowing what my clients are going to feel. And being able to notice that in them, but also just recognizing like, hey, if this isn't fun, there's probably a reason why I'm making it too complicated. If this feels hard, it's probably too hard and I'm making it more complicated than it needs to be. It's a lot to know, it's a lot to learn, but it should be fun and it should be easy and there should be flow. So I think college does a really great job at like helping you learn and process it in a way that you can experience it as just a fun way to help people and help yourself grow.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you. And I like that. Sometimes we just get into overthinking too much.
Yeah.
And what does this mean? What does this mean? If I make business cards, do I put my face on it? Yes, you do. Just do it.
Right.
All right. All right. Thank you so much.